The North American Central Time Zone is a time zone in parts of Canada, the United States, Mexico, Central America, some Caribbean islands, and part of the Eastern Pacific Ocean. Standard time in the zone is 6 hours behind Coordinated Universal Time. During Daylight Saving Time, time in most of the zone is 5 hours behind GMT. Regions using Central Time. Canada. The province of Manitoba is the only province or territory in Canada that observes Central Time in all areas. The following Canadian provinces and territories observe Central Time in the areas noted, while their other areas observe Eastern Time. Nunavut. Western areas. Ontario, a portion of the northwest bordering northeastern Manitoba. Also, most of the province of Saskatchewan is on Central Standard Time year-round, never adjusting for Daylight Saving Time. Major exceptions include Lloydminster, a city situated on the boundary between Alberta and Saskatchewan. The city charter stipulates that it shall observe Mountain Time and DST, putting the community on the same time as all of Alberta, including the major cities of Calgary and Edmonton. United States. The Central Time Zone is the second most populous in the U.S. after the Eastern Time Zone. Several states straddle time zone boundaries. Alabama. Although all of Alabama is legally on Central Time, Phoenix City and some of the surrounding community of Smith Station unofficially observe Eastern Time, as these areas are part of the metropolitan area of the considerably larger city of Columbus, Georgia in the Eastern Time Zone. Lanett and Valley observe Eastern Time historically because they were textile mill towns and the original home office of the mills was in West Point, Georgia. Arkansas. Florida. The Florida Panhandle west of the Apalachicola River, bordering on Alabama. The remainder of Florida is in the Eastern Time Zone. Illinois. Indiana. Southwestern and northwestern corners bordering on Illinois and Kentucky. Iowa. Kansas. All except 4 counties on the Colorado border: Sherman, Wallace, Greeley and Hamilton. Kentucky. Western half. Generally everything west of Louisville. Some eastern counties observe Central Time because they are close to the northern border of the Middle Tennessee counties surrounding the Nashville metropolitan area. Louisiana. Michigan. All of Michigan observes Eastern Time except the 4 Upper Peninsula counties that border Wisconsin. Other westernmost counties from this area such as Ontonagon observe Eastern Time. Minnesota. Mississippi. Missouri. Nebraska. Eastern 2/3. North Dakota. Entire state except southwestern quadrant, south of the Missouri River. Oklahoma. The community of Kenton, at the extreme western end of the Panhandle, unofficially observes Mountain Time. South Dakota. Eastern half is divided by the Missouri River adjacent to the state capital, Pierre. Note the metropolitan area of Pierre is central, including Fort Pierre, Tennessee, Western 2/3, all of Middle Tennessee and West Tennessee plus Bledsoe, Cumberland, and Marion counties in East Tennessee. Texas. All of Texas is in the Central Time Zone, except for Hudspeth County and El Paso County in the westernmost part. Wisconsin. Mexico. Most of Mexico, roughly the eastern 3/4, lies in the Central Time Zone, except for 6 northwestern states: Baja California Sur, Chihuahua, Nayarit, Sinaloa, and Sonora, and 1 southeastern state. The federal entities of Mexico that observe Central Time. In Nayarit, however, only the municipality of Bahia de Banderas uses Central Time. Central America and Caribbean islands. Belize, Costa Rica, El Salvador, Guatemala, Honduras, and Nicaragua all use Central Standard Time year-round. Eastern Pacific Islands and other areas Central Daylight Time. Daylight Saving Time is in effect in much of the Central Time Zone between mid-March and early November. The modified time is called Central Daylight Time and is UTC-5. In Canada, Saskatchewan does not observe a time change. One reason that Saskatchewan does not take part in a time change is that, geographically, the entire province is closer to the Mountain Time Zone's meridian. The province elected to move on to permanent daylight saving by being part of the Central Time Zone. The only exception is the region immediately surrounding the Saskatchewan side of the bi-provincial city of Lloydminster, which has chosen to use Mountain Time with DST, synchronizing its clocks with those of Alberta. In those areas of the Canadian and American time zones that observe DST, beginning in 2007, the local time changes at 2 o'clock local standard time to 3 o'clock local daylight time on the second Sunday in March and returns at 2 o'clock local daylight time to 1 o'clock local standard time on the first Sunday in November. Mexico decided not to go along with this change and observes the Horario de Verano from the first Sunday in April to the last Sunday in October. In December 2009, the Mexican Congress allowed 10 border cities, 8 of which are in states that observe Central Time, to adopt the U.S. Daylight Time schedule effective in 2010. Alphabetical list of major Central Time Zone metropolitan areas.